Some brains don't shut down in crowds. They overwork. If gatherings drain you, this video is about the difference that was never properly explained. Your brain isn't broken. It's not lagging behind. And this is not a sign of social failure. New research is pointing to something simple yet profound. Your mind is just built differently, and science is only now realizing that this difference isn't a flaw, and it's a design. Think about the last time you walked into a crowded mall. The lights weren't just bright, they were sharp. The ceiling lights felt like they were pressing into your eyes. The noise wasn't just loud, it was layered. People talking, music, announcements, footsteps, all blending together at once. People passed by without noticing you, bumping into your arm or shoulder as if you were invisible. And beneath all of it, an invisible pressure slowly tightened around your chest. You look around. Everyone seems fine. They're laughing, shopping, talking, living. But you're standing there, feeling like a glitched character in a video game, just waiting to find an exit. This is where we need to make a fundamental correction. You are not broken. You're not antisocial. And you're definitely not weird. Your brain is simply tuned to a different frequency. Let's break that open. Number 5. Your nervous system isn't weak. It's proactive because it's powerful. Most people have an automatic mental filter. Something like noise-canceling headphones for daily life. They enter a crowd and their brain quickly decides ignore the crying child, delete the guy shouting into his phone, dismiss the mixed smells of food, perfume, and sweat. Their attention narrows. Yours doesn't. Your brain records everything in high definition, like 4K with surround sound, uncompressed, half-finished sentences, tiny shifts in facial expressions, even changes in the emotional atmosphere of the space. Psychologists call this a highly sensitive nervous system. Not sensitive as in fragile, sensitive as in precise and receptive. Your mind doesn't skim over reality, it pulls it all the way in. That's why a short time in a crowded place can exhaust you in a way others simply don't understand. It's like drinking from a fire hose while everyone else sips through a straw. Research shows that highly sensitive individuals process sensory information far more deeply than average. Your brain isn't resting, it's sprinting. So the exhaustion you feel isn't laziness, it's neural load. And here's something history rarely mentions. This level of awareness once kept humans alive. When others didn't hear the sound in the bushes, people like you detected danger sooner. Your sensitivity isn't a defect, it's a survival advantage. You're not too sensitive. You're exactly as sensitive as necessary. And contrary to what modern culture suggests, this isn't weakness. It's a capacity most people couldn't tolerate, even if they tried. Number 4, you're not tired of people. You're tired of performing. Crowds aren't just loud, they're theatrical. In large groups, authenticity fades. People laugh at jokes that aren't funny. They smile while carrying tension. They say, "I'm fine," when they clearly aren't, and you see it. You catch the mismatch between tone and truth. Micro-expressions. Artificial warmth. The emotional noise behind polite words. The issue isn't that you dislike humans. You dislike role-playing. You dislike conversations that stay shallow. Interactions that feel hollow, repetitive, bland, like chewing something with no flavor. Psychologists call this social masking fatigue, the burnout that comes from witnessing constant emotional performance. That's why you trade 10 loud parties for one honest conversation at 2 in the morning. Your mind isn't seeking stimulation, it's seeking meaning. And in a world addicted to surface-level connection, that makes you rare. Oxford studies show that people who avoid crowds often have higher emotional intelligence. What does that mean? It means you're not socially awkward. You're selective. You don't want 100 half connections. You want a few real ones. Solitude isn't painful loneliness for you. It's the place where you don't have to compress yourself, shrink yourself, or perform. Number 3, your brain chemistry is different. This is where biology enters. Dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, works one way in people who love crowds and another way in you. For extroverts, social interaction releases dopamine. They recharge. They feel alive. But your brain doesn't respond that way. In noisy environments, dopamine stays low while stimulation stays high. The result? Not pleasure, overload. Your nervous system sends a message. Too much input, too fast, pull back. That's why after social gatherings, you don't feel energized. You feel wrecked. Your brain relies more on acetylcholine, a chemical linked to deep thinking, focus, and solitude. While some people need noise to feel alive, you need silence to flourish. Neuroscience confirms this. Studies show that introverted brains have greater development in areas related to analysis and decision-making. So when you're sitting alone, apparently doing nothing, your brain is doing its most important work. This isn't isolation. It's a processing and growth phase. That's why quiet moments feel alive to you. Night drives, early morning empty cafes, walking in nature with nothing but your breath. These moments aren't boring. They're where your system resets. Number 2, you absorb emotions. You walk into a room and before anyone speaks, you feel it. The tension, unresolved conflict, the heaviness behind smiles. This isn't imagination, it's proactive empathy. Your brain mirrors the emotions around you. In crowds, you don't just feel your own state, you unconsciously carry others' weight too. Anxiety, excitement, irritation, sadness, all at once. Like a radio picking up every frequency simultaneously. No filter, no mute button. Of course you want to escape, but this same trait makes you one of the most perceptive people in any room. You notice what others miss. You understand what isn't said, and that depth is rare. Number 1, you're not escaping life. You're protecting your peace. Modern culture worships noise, chaos, always being around people. If you step back, you get labeled cold, boring, strange. But the truth is different. Choosing calm over chaos is courage. You've realized something many people spend a lifetime running from. Silence isn't empty. For you, it's full. Full of clarity. Full of creativity. Full of self-awareness. Your solitude isn't isolation, it's connection with yourself. You're not missing out. You're stepping away from a game that was never designed for your nervous system, and that's bravery. So the next time someone asks, why are you so quiet? Or why don't you go out more? You don't need to explain. They don't hear the world the way you do. You listen deeply, you feel deeply. And in a world that constantly screams, your calm isn't weakness, it's precision. You're not broken, you were built differently, and that difference matters. If this description sounds like you, comment below. Do you run from noise or do you thrive in chaos? Share your experience.